Hi, my name is Paul Burton. I'm the creator of the QuietSpacing method. QuietSpacing is a revolutionary way to increase your productivity by reducing the number of interruptions and distractions that you suffer each day. So why do we care about more productivity? Well, in my opinion, success is a feeling and not a result. It is one generally derived through accomplishment, getting more things done. So if we can increase our productivity, we will increase our sense of success and our well-being with regard to both our work and our personal lives. For example, if we increase productivity by just 6 minutes a day, we'll improve our overall productivity by 24 hours a year. That's 3 days. Imagine what you could do with 3 additional days of time each year. I'm very excited to announce today that we just got done filming the video webinar series for QuietSpacing. It's available online, and what follows here is a brief snippet of one of the seminars, one of the chapters in the seminars, which covers email productivity. I hope you enjoy it. Let's start with a few quick tips on how to best deal with your email on a quick and dirty basis. Then we'll jump into the QuietSpacing setup within your inbox and follow that by some demonstration using a live inbox on how QuietSpacing can work best for you when dealing with your email. All right, when you're dealing with your email, there's a couple of things I recommend all of my clients do right out of the box. Number 1, turn your new email alert off. It's killing you. It's destroying your productivity, and frankly, there's not much you can do about the email because it's coming. It's coming and coming and coming, and it never stops coming. That's the problem with email. So please, turn off the new email alert. Now, many people have said to me, but Paul, I want to know when every single email comes into my inbox. And my response to that is simply this. When you get physical mail at the mailbox, do you walk all the way out to the mailbox, grab a piece of mail, walk all the way back into your home, open up that piece of mail, then deal with that piece of mail before returning to the mailbox to get the next piece of mail? Of course you don't. Because what you really do with your physical mail is what I want you to do with your email. Batch process it. I want you to look at it periodically as you feel you need to, whether it's every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, hour. But batch process what's come in that last series of periods that you've been away from it. The next couple of things I want you to think about with your email is leveraging your subject line. What do I mean by that? We're going to talk a lot about that in a few minutes, but what we really talk about in the subject line is telling the recipient of the email what it is you're talking about in the body of the email. Instead of, hi, how are you? Try putting in, regarding this client matter, regarding this project. Make sure that people, and if there's more detail to put out there, put it out there. By the way, a little trick you can apply for yourself is if you're getting an email that says, hi, how are you on it, normally what you can do is highlight with your cursor, hi, how are you, and type over the hi, how are you with some substantive information about that email right there in the subject line. Now, the beauty of having a good solid subject line is that you get to basically look at that line item to determine what you're going to do with that item right now. If it's hi, how are you, you probably need to open it up and refresh your memory with what's in that email. That takes time. It's activity, it's redundant activity with no corresponding productivity again. Another suggestion I regularly make to people is put only one subject in each email. Now, many people again look at me aghast wondering, why is it that I say that? Well, think of it this way. If you start putting a whole bunch of information in an email on various subjects, people only remember portions of each part of that email, which means they stand a great chance of mashing together the various subjects that you've so carefully articulated separately in the email. If you are able to separate out your emails at one subject per, the subject line can be very specific, the contents can be very specific, and for filing purposes, it can be very specific. From an interactive component or perspective, it's also going to greatly increase the clarity of your communication meaning that you don't have to re-communicate the same information due to confusion, and that's simply more productive. Minimize the use of reply all. I hate reply all. There is very few instances where reply all is really valuable. Yet, because it exists or it sits right next to reply in most email systems, people have a tendency to use reply all. Before hitting reply all, ask yourself, does everybody on this email thread really need to see what I'm saying? Because if you slow down or reduce the amount of times you use reply all, and other people do the same, it reduces the amount of email we all need to process. Dragging and dropping emails into calendar events and into task events using Microsoft Outlook as an example is extremely productive, and it's an extremely good way of managing your information. And I'm going to show you that in some of the other seminars more specifically. But what that means specifically here is if you right-click on an email and you drag it down over the calendar or task icon and let go of it, you are presented with a number of options. And all of those options basically mean that you can take the information contained within the email and put it into the calendar event or into a task. One good example of where this is useful is if you drag and drop an email into a calendar event, say for a conference call you're going to have with a client. When that conference call reminder comes up in your system, you'll be able to open up that email or open up the event itself. The email information is contained within the event. You can review the subject and any of the background information about this conference call just prior to the call. That's much more efficient than digging around in client folders, looking for this email in a hurried manner right before the call. This information is being presented to you right inside the reminder window for the event itself. That's an incredibly effective and productive way of managing your information. Thanks so much for watching that brief segment on email productivity using the QuietSpacing method. If you think QuietSpacing can help you be more productive, successful, and feel better about what you do, then select subscribe now down below and get a whole year of the QuietSpacing seminar series available to you whenever you want to watch any of the 5 chapters. Thank you so much again.